So former President Uhuru Kenyatta has said, I have actually no problem at all with the current President William Ruto. I'm not going to call him, but if he calls me, I'm going and willing to talk to him. What's happening between these two leaders, the former president and the current president? That's a conversation that we want to have this evening, as well as looking at what's happening. I'm available to meet one-on-one with you anytime at your convenience. This is after former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and the Azimio leader had earlier said that the president had invited Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan into the country, and then he snubbed her after inviting her to have conversations and negotiate between the two leaders. What's happening? I want to have that conversation now with three guests in the studio. Senator Essie Okinyuri is our guest, alongside Kevin Osido, who is the Executive Director of County Governance Watch, and governance expert Gabriel Muduma. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Thank you.
Asanteni sana for joining us this evening. Let's just fire it off right here. Let's start with what we saw over the weekend happening with the president and the former president. So a lot's happened, Kevin. I mean, the former president even having a conversation with the editors yesterday and saying, I don't understand what's happening. I have done nothing wrong. What's going on? I'm willing to have a conversation with the president.
Yeah.
What exactly is going on?
Thank you so much, Eric, and good evening to our viewers. I think that what is going on is pure political bad manners between two very highly placed, extremely respected individuals who, in fact, in my view, should be sharing very good practices and extolling good examples to young people like myself and others, particularly those who are in schools. Because if you realize today, we no longer have prefects. Kids, pupils, students up to the level of ECD vote for president, women rep, MCA, senators, etc. because they are learning from our leaders. But to the extent that we have this unnecessary bickering, particularly from presidents, whether present or former, you are a president, especially having served for 2 terms in this very difficult political terrain of a country like Kenya. You need utmost respect, and especially when you have retired, you need to retire. Except and until when, and I think the former President Ruto Kenyatta was very categorical that he said, I am ready to do what the president, because he is my president, so I will do what he wants me to do. And on the same note and tone, I think it would be of an ill manner for a sitting president. Eric, I have tried to follow this issue up to and including speaking to people who are very close to President William Samoei Ruto, and I have asked them, do you think the president is playing us as Kenyans? Because he has told us many times that one is God-fearing, and so he respects God, and with the hope that therefore he is able to treat his co-principals and friends as brothers, and then basically be at peace with each other. Would it be possible that he is hunting and haunting the former president? And they're telling me, we don't think he's doing that. In fact, these things surprise him. But one thing that surprises me is, why is he not talking so loudly about these hunting terrains against the former president?
Why is who not talking loudly?
Why is the president, William Ruto, because it's his handlers, a few people that I have tried talking to try and find out what is going on. Is the president really aware? Is he the one doing this? And they're saying some of these things really surprise him. So I am saying, if they surprise him, why can't he, in the same vein and tone that he is addressing Kenyans on political rallies on top of his very high four-wheel drive wheeled vehicle, also tell us, sijui hayo maneno ambayo yanamzingira aliyekuwa rais wetu na wale ambao wanamfuata wawachane na maneno hayo, especially when you want to go after people's children. And it reminds me of a time when the president, while a deputy president then, also asked the then president to leave his family alone. What is this thing with families? And why must we see people who are of very high repute in society, people who are extremely respected, following each other? So I think for me is just pure bad manners. Waswahili wasema fali wawili wakipigana, Eric, ni nyasi ndio huumia. All this bickering is really affecting us as nyasi, as Kenyans, and of course the international community, the global community, because the profile of this country called Kenya is so high up there People are looking at Kenya with the hope that we can beam life into their very difficult situations as neighbors and as friends. Why do we want to bring ourselves so low, especially at the level of a presidency? 2 presidents, a former one and a current one. I think it is unnecessary.
Senator, he calls it bad manners, and he says, man, it's just bringing us and stooping us so low. Is the issue between the 2 leaders actually impacting the nation?
First, Eric, I think what is actually happening in what you're terming as a discord is because the 2 leaders are looking at issues from different points. This is also a moment whereby we look at what former heads of state do. In Africa, for a very long time, people looked at it like for any ordinary head of state in Africa, the only way they would be removed from office was by way of their own natural death. But consequently, we actually saw peaceful handing over of power, of which in Kenya that has happened. But at this point, I think someone like former President Uhuru needs to realize handing over of power at Kasarani was not just about giving that sword and that is it. It actually takes time